The zodiac sign of Scorpio, the 23rd of October to the 22nd of November, is symbolized by the scorpion. Scorpio is typically associated with the Sabbat of Samhain, which marks the end of the harvest season and the beginning of the darker half of the year. Samhain falls around October the 31st in the northern hemisphere and the 30th of April in the southern hemisphere. During Samhain, when the veil between the worlds is believed to be the thinnest, Scorpio's energies align with themes of death, transformation, and introspection. It is time to honor our ancestors, release what no longer serves us, and embrace the cycle of death and rebirth. Scorpio's intensity and depth encourage delving into the shadow self, facing fears, and embracing personal transformation. In rituals and celebrations during Samhain, practitioners may focus on honoring the cycles of life and death, divination, and acknowledging the mysteries of the unseen realms. It is a time for deep reflection, letting go of the old, and preparing for new beginnings that lie ahead in the coming year. Scorpio is a zodiac constellation located in the southern celestial hemisphere. It is best observed during the summer months in the northern hemisphere, typically from July to September. Scorpio is often depicted as a scorpion, with bright stars forming its body and tail. The brightest star in Scorpio is Antares, also known as Alpha Scorpii, which is a red supergiant star located approximately 550 light-years away from Earth. Scorpio contains several notable deep sky objects, including the Butterfly Cluster M6, the Ptolemy Cluster M7, and the Cat's Paw Nebula NGC 6334. These objects are popular targets for amateur astronomers due to their brightness and visibility. In the southern hemisphere, Scorpio is more predominant and visible, appearing high in the sky during the winter months. It is often used as a navigational aid by sailors and has cultural significance in Indigenous Australian astronomy. The glyph represents the scorpion, ready to attack with the sting in its tail. The Scorpius constellation hasn't always been represented by a scorpion. In ancient times, the Serpent Bloodline saw it as symbolizing an eagle and a snake battling between each other in the heavens. It was used in stories told to children, so they could start to understand the ongoing battle between the serpent and the eagle bloodlines. One of the most famous myths involving Scorpio comes from Greek mythology, where Scorpio is associated with the story of Orion the Hunter. According to the myth, Orion boasted that he could hunt and kill any creature on Earth. Gaia, the Earth goddess, sent a scorpion to defeat Orion. The scorpion stung Orion, killing him, and both were placed in the sky as a constellation by Zeus. In some versions of the myth, Artemis, the goddess of the hunt and Orion's hunting companion, asked Zeus to place Orion in the sky after his death, while Zeus placed a scorpion as a warning to never boast of his hunting prowess again. In Babylonian mythology, Scorpio was linked to the goddess Ishtar. Ishtar was associated with fertility, love, and war. The constellation of Scorpio was seen as a representation of Ishtar's power and influence, particularly over the cycles of life and death. In ancient Egypt, Scorpio was associated with the goddess Serket. Serket was depicted as a scorpion or as a woman with a scorpion on her head. She was considered a protective goddess who guarded the deceased in the afterlife and helped guide them safely through the dangers of the underworld. Serket was also associated with healing and medicine. as scorpion venom was believed to have medicinal properties when used in the right doses. In Australian Indigenous astronomy, Scorpio is often seen as part of the Emu in the Sky constellation, where the dark patches of the Milky Way represent the body of the emu. Scorpio's claws were sometimes interpreted as emu's feet. Different indigenous groups across Australia have their own stories and interpretations of the emu in the Sky constellation, but it often serves as a seasonal calendar and cultural marker. Scorpio is a sorcerer and transformative agent of the zodiac. Symbolized by the powerful scorpion, Scorpio embodies intensity, depth, and mysteries of the unseen realms. Ruled by Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, Scorpio channels the potent energies of regeneration, healing, and spiritual evolution. Scorpio holds a profound esoteric significance. Scorpio symbolizes the journey of initiation, the descent into the shadowy depths of the subconscious, and the subsequent resurrection into higher states of consciousness. Like the phoenix rising from the ashes, Scorpio asks us to confront our fears, embrace our shadows, and emerge reborn, purified, and transformed. Corresponding to the human body, Scorpio governs the reproductive organs, bladder and colon, areas rich in symbolic significance within esoteric teachings. The reproductive organs symbolize the creative power of Scorpio, the ability to merge with another soul, to birth new life, to engage in the sacred dance of intimacy and union. The bladder, symbolic of containment and release, represents the need to purge emotional toxins and negative energies from our system. Like the scorpion shedding its skin, the bladder enables us to release that which no longer serves us, clearing the path for deep transformation and renewal. The colon, symbolic of elimination and purification, embodies the process of letting go, of releasing attachments, traumas, and old patterns that hinder our spiritual growth. It is through the cleansing and purging of the colon that we create space for new beginnings and the emergence of our true essence. In esoteric lore, Scorpio is associated with the alchemical process of transmutation, the transformation of base elements into spiritual gold. It is through the crucible of Scorpio that we confront our deepest desires, fears, and insecurities, transmuting them into wisdom, power, and spiritual insight. Through the energy of Scorpio, we are called to embrace the path of regeneration and rebirth, to dive fearlessly into the depths of our soul, and emerge victorious, empowered, and awakened. As we honor the esoteric essence of Scorpio, we recognize the sacredness of the shadow, the hidden realms of the psyche, where our greatest treasures and deepest wounds reside, awaiting illumination and unification.